So today we're diving deep into something that, on its surface, might seem a little like self-help fluff. But when you really get into it, it's this incredibly practical framework for changing everything, especially your finances.
It really is.
And we're going to start with a question from our sources that is, well, it's deeply uncomfortable. And it's this: how much of your life are you willing to sacrifice because of a belief you never chose?
That question just cuts right to the core of it, doesn't it? We're talking about this invisible program, like a mental operating system that's, dictating your exact financial ceiling.
Right. And how you react to every single opportunity or setback that comes your way.
And the thing is, it was installed long before you had any say in the matter.
Exactly. Long before you decided what you wanted your life to even look like. It's just this background noise from your childhood, and it is silently running the show right now.
We call this the paradigm, and people often confuse it with personality or maybe even intelligence, but it's much deeper. The paradigm is this permanent fixture in your subconscious that decides how much money you think you can earn.
How much you deserve.
Yes, how much you deserve. And critically, what you do when you feel fear or when you fail, it's basically your financial thermostat.
A thermostat. And a thermostat's whole job is to keep the temperature stable.
Yeah.
Right? So if your setting is, say, $40,000 a year, and you suddenly land a deal that makes you $80,000,
that thermostat is going to kick in
and trigger self-sabotage to pull you right back down to what's familiar.
Precisely. And our mission today is to really unpack the framework from Bob Proctor, who was heavily influenced by Raymond Stanford and Thurman Fleet, to understand how this programming works, how we got it, and, how we can systematically change it.
And Proctor's own story is the case study here. I mean, going from $6,000 in debt to earning over $100,000 a year just by changing these internal settings. It's incredible. Okay, let's get into segment one then. How this paradigm, this sort of unseen prison, actually gets installed. The sources make it so clear. You do not live according to what you want. You live according to your paradigm.
And that's often the hardest pill to swallow. I mean, people truly believe they want to be wealthy, but their day-to-day actions, they just reflect these programmed limits.
So how does it get in there?
It's installed in childhood. A kid's subconscious mind is it's wide open. It's like a sponge. It accepts everything and it rejects nothing.
So if we look at Bob Proctor's life, he was born in the mid-30s, right in the middle of the Great Depression, World War II. His whole childhood was just steeped in scarcity.
Right. It wasn't just hearing, oh, we can't afford that. It was deeper. He was absorbing the collective fear that life is just about survival, not about thriving. That success was for, other people.
A lucky few.
Yeah.
And that conditioning just becomes the internal script.
And by the time he was 26, he was living proof of that script. Low confidence, earning $4,000 a year, drowning in debt. His life was just a quiet repetition of his past.
And this is where the whole story just pivots. It wasn't some inheritance. It wasn't a promotion. It was a conversation with Raymond Stanford,
who saw past the struggling guy and saw the program running underneath. And he just asked him straight up, why are you living the way you're living?
Wow.
And that question, it just forced Proctor to see that he didn't even know the rules of the game. So when Stanford handed him the book, Think and Grow Rich, that's when it hit him.
What was the realization?
He realized, I don't know how to earn money because no one ever taught me how to think about money.
That's the game changer right there. We all go to school to learn skills, how to code, how to sell, whatever. But none of that matters if the program underneath is telling you you're not good enough.
Exactly. You can work harder, but if your paradigm says struggle is normal, you will find a way to create struggle.
And that's the loop so many people are stuck in. They try the new side hustle, they go to the seminar, work 80 hours a week.
And they always crash back down to that comfort zone because they're only changing the action, not the core belief. To really change, you need a map of the mind.
Which brings us perfectly to the hidden mechanics of the mind and this Thurman Fleet stick figure model, which is so simple but so powerful.
It really is. It breaks the mind into three parts. You have the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the body.
So the conscious mind is the top half of the head in the drawing, the thinking mind.
Yes, and it has these 6 incredible powers: reason, imagination, perception, will, memory, and intuition. I mean, these are the tools we're supposed to use to build any life we want.
Okay, but let's make that practical. The power of perception. What does that actually mean for someone's wealth programming? It's more than just seeing an opportunity, right?
Oh, it's so much deeper. Perception is the filter you use to interpret everything. So let's say you lose a big client. If your paradigm is set to failure, your perception says, see, I knew it. I'm a failure. Time to quit.
But if you have an abundance paradigm,
Your perception filters it as, okay, a setback. What can I learn from this for the next even better client? It's how you define what happens to you. And that definition determines your next move.
so the real tragedy here is that the conscious mind, which is supposed to be the doorkeeper, just lets everything in.
It fails at its job. Instead of using reason to filter out the fear from the news, from society, from family, it just becomes this unguarded gateway.
And everything that slips past that gatekeeper lands in the subconscious mind.
Which is the key to this whole system. It's the emotional mind, and it has one rule. It does not judge or reason. It only accepts. And if an idea comes in with strong emotion or through constant repetition, the subconscious treats it as absolute truth.
And that's where the internal war starts, isn't it? Consciously, you're saying, I'm smart, I deserve more. But the subconscious is saying, whoa, this new level feels weird, it's unfamiliar, I'm someone who struggles.
And guess which one wins? The subconscious controls, what, something like 95% of your habitual behavior? So when logic fights identity, identity wins every time.
The wild part is that the subconscious doesn't even want you to be happy. It just wants you to be familiar.
That's it. If struggle and debt are your familiar temperature, it will work tirelessly to get you back there. That's the self-sabotage cycle. You get a big win, and then boom, you procrastinate, you spend the money, you pick a fight.
Your system is just trying to get back to its comfortable level of struggle.
Right. And the body, the final piece, it just does what the subconscious tells it. If the program is fear, the body gives you procrastination. If it's self-doubt, the body feels tired. Proctor's belief was simple. Belief creates action, not the other way around.
Trying to force action against that belief.
Yeah.
It's just exhausting. You're fighting the operating system itself.
You are.
So if we want to stop fighting, stop the exhaustion, and actually replace the old paradigm, how do we do it? How do we rewrite that thermostat?
Well, the sources give us a clear blueprint, and Proctor's own transformation shows the key ingredient. It's constant repetition.
It wasn't just one aha moment.
Not at all. It was sustained, overwhelming effort aimed right at his subconscious. He didn't just read Think and Grow Rich once. He reread it until the pages were soft. He listened to Earl Nightingale's record thousands of times. He was pushing one new idea in over and over and over until it literally overwrote the old one.
That intensity is so important, and it leads us right into this 5-layer blueprint for reprogramming.
Right. And layer one is awareness. Just realizing that those patterns, the procrastination, the fear of what people will think, they aren't you. They aren't your personal flaws.
They're just programming loops.
They're just loops installed decades ago. The goal is to step outside and say, this feeling of limitation, this isn't me. This is just conditioning I inherited.
And once you can separate yourself from it, then you get to layer 2, choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the moment you consciously decide on a new identity. Not a new goal, an identity. You decide to be the confident, successful version of you. That choice has to come before you even think about the actions.
You choose who you are before you figure out what you do.
You got it. Then comes layer 3, and this is where the real work is. Emotional imprinting. Since the subconscious doesn't understand logic, only feeling, you have to generate the feeling of your new identity first.
So visualization isn't just about seeing pictures in your head.
No, it's about mentally rehearsing your new life so vividly that your body generates the emotional memory of already having it.
Okay, can you give us a quick technique for that? Because it's hard to feel successful when your bank account says you're not. Logically, it's a conflict.
Absolutely. It's about attaching an emotion to the idea. So you take your goal card. Let's say it's, I am joyfully earning $200,000 a year. You don't just read the words. You close your eyes and you ask, what does that feel like?
Is it relief? Freedom?
Maybe. Or maybe it's just calm certainty, deep satisfaction. You breathe and you generate that feeling of calm certainty in your body right now. You attach the feeling to the idea. The subconscious can't tell the difference between that vividly imagined feeling and reality.
That's powerful. It moves it from just hope to, like, active creation. Which brings us to layer 4, repetition, or as the sources call it, dominance.
And this is where almost everyone fails. They'll read their goal card once in the morning, but then they worry about bills for the next 6 hours.
So the old program is still dominant.
Way more dominant. To actually change, The new idea has to be pushed in so frequently through reading it, listening to it, feeling it, that it becomes more dominant than the old limiting idea. The new feeling has to become your new emotional home.
And then finally, layer 5, alignment.
This is the beautiful part. This is where the struggle just ends. When that new identity is fully imprinted, your behavior just automatically lines up with your intentions.
So you're not forcing yourself to make the hard call or have the tough negotiation anymore.
No, it just flows. It comes from a place of calm certainty because your subconscious is finally on the same team as your conscious goals. You start procrastinating because those necessary actions now feel familiar and safe.
And you start seeing opportunities that were just invisible before. When that old scarcity program was running.
Exactly.
This whole deep dive really boils down to one core truth, doesn't it? You cannot outperform your own self-image, wealth, success. They don't start with action. They start with identity. You change the paradigm, and the world outside has to change to match it.
It has to, and this puts a huge amount of responsibility on us. The sources point out that financial struggle is often passed down through generations like a family heirloom, not through genetics. Through conditioning.
Through modeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If your fears, your low expectations, if all that is just learned programming, then it's not your destiny. It's just a default setting.
So knowing all this now, knowing the beliefs that are running your life were just installed years ago, and that you have the tools to reprogram them, what new abundant identity are you going to consciously choose and then make dominant?
Because that choice, it doesn't just change your life. It can break a chain of struggle for everyone who comes after you.